What's up everybody, Dan here, back with another video on the Eibach, and I'm getting ready to install a set of Eibach Pro Kit springs. And so I'm going to put together a little video showing a basic comparison of before and after. So I'm going to do a little walk around to show you what this thing looks like now. The Pro Kit is not a very aggressive set of springs. It only drops it roughly a little more than half an inch all the way around, which is what I was looking for because I wanted it to be a little bit lower than stock. Clearly it sits up too high, but I wanted to go more of an OEM plus, so I didn't want to slam into the ground, which is why I went with the Pro Kit. But there's not a lot of really good visuals online for the Spider specifically. There's a few pictures, but there's no real good videos showing a before and after. So basically here, I'm going to give you a little walk around and kind of show you what it looks like before. No modifications. This is completely stock. And hopefully this will kind of give you a good idea of what it looks like stock. I'm also going to insert shortly some pictures of measurements of all four corners. And then of course I'm going to come back and do all of this again once the car has been lowered. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it all over again once it's had a couple hundred miles driven for the springs to settle. And then I've also got some spacers that I'm probably going to add as well, so I'll do some visuals on that. So yeah, so this is what this bad boy looks like stock, and pretty soon here we're going to start the install. So I will be back with you guys once the springs are on the car and we will reevaluate how it looks. All right, here we are with part number 2. This is after the install. So I've done about 5, maybe 10 miles of testing just to make sure that nothing was making any funny noises, nothing felt binded up. You always need to do that when you do a suspension install. Everything felt fine, but this is not as settled as it will be in 300-400 miles. It takes a little while for a new set of suspension to fully drop. Everything to me looks good, about what I wanted, except for I'm little unsure about the passenger side rear. It's not really settling. Maybe it just needs more time. It does seem to me that it's a little bit higher. I'll check into that, but anyways, for the most part the car is definitely lower. We'll swing around back here. I know this is kind of hard to tell, but I'm also going to take some pictures here in just a second and give some comparison measurements, so that'll let me know how much every corner dropped and see if that passenger side rear came down as much as it could. But yeah, here's what you got. This is after the springs. I am going to put the spacers on, which will change the look a little bit. I'll probably do another clip once I have the spacers on, and then I'll do another video down the road, guys, once I've given this thing 500 miles to really settle in. And that's the amount of time you really need to give a new set of suspension to see how low the car is really going to sit. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied. So yeah, Eibach Pro Kit on the Fiat Spider. This is going to be the drop you're going to get whether you have an Eibach, Classica, or Lusso. All right, bye. Okay, this is the final portion of this video. This is installation complete, both the springs as well as the spacers. I wanted to kind of find somewhere somewhat level to take this video. We're just going to do a little walk around. The suspension definitely made it look better, but these 20mm spacers all the way around really finishes it off. I'm not really a spacer person. I've never really done it. I never really utilized them in any builds. I'm typically a buy the right size wheel for the fitment you want. However, I absolutely love the stock wheels on this Eibach, and mine are in exceptionally good quality, so I did not want to swap them out. I want to keep them. I love them. So yeah, so we're going to try this spacer thing, but it definitely fills out the arches. Of course, again, I'll mention I was going for an OEM plus look, so it's not as slammed as potentially some people might like their cars, but I think it looks phenomenal. Looks like it could have come like this from the factory, which I love, yet it's still just a little bit lower than it actually came from the factory. It was just too high for my liking. And as you can see, these spacers really made a huge difference. Lined up perfectly with the fenders. Just brilliant. I think it looks phenomenal. So I'm very happy with it. I've done something like 50 or 60 miles. It's been a couple days since I've had these installed. So it's definitely had a little bit of time to settle a bit, but it will settle a lot more in the next 200-300 miles and probably sit a little bit lower, but I'm already pretty satisfied with it. I did mention earlier in the video that I was worried that this rear passenger side was sitting a little bit higher, and it still is slightly, but it has settled quite a bit, and it's starting to get much closer to matching this side over here. I do think the driver's side and the rear sits a little bit lower, but the measurements, as you would have seen in the video, show that both sides have pretty much dropped exactly the same. So I believe it was just a thing where I guess this corner was higher to begin with, and the springs did exactly what they were supposed to. And now the sun is coming out to give us a nice, beautiful shine on that silver. It's a good looking car, and it looks even better lowered. One more little walk around here. I have to save this location. I've never been here before. This is a phenomenal little location to make videos. Hopefully the traffic coming by isn't that loud. But yeah, sun in the background. We may not be getting a good visual here, but as we come around this side, you'll see the sun just beaming off of that silver. Good stuff. All right, so I'm very satisfied, guys. And in a few hundred miles, 300-400 miles, I'll do an updated video to show you if it's sat any lower than what it does today. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll talk with you in the next video. See ya.